Hello and welcome to the workout. Today I have for you legs, shoulders, and abs. This is always a favorite workout. The women in my community often say those are the body parts they want to work on. I love shoulders because when you really create that beautiful deltoid cap, it makes your arms look better. A lot of people think, or I should say a lot of women think that when they want their arms to look better, they work on their biceps and their triceps. You can do that, it's valuable. And what I found in my 30 years of coaching women is that your arms look better when we work on your deltoids, because it is what gives the shape to your shoulders, and it also is what creates that nice muscle separation between the deltoid and the bicep. So it actually makes your arms look better by working on your shoulders. Through our shoulder exercises today, please make sure that you keep your shoulders back, which is retracted, and down, which is depressed. You want your whole shoulder girdle to be drawing your shoulder blades towards each other and then pushing downward towards your hips so that you have a nice long neck with your shoulders depressed. It makes a big difference as compared to if your shoulders are up here. Shoulders back in space and down. You are gonna need a variety of dumbbells. If you have a barbell, grab it, you don't need it. If you have an exercise bench, you'll wanna use it, but you don't need it. Let's get started. So let's take a big inhale up, reaching way up to the ceiling. Exhale out. Let's do that 2 more times. Now this inhale is really about stretching your torso up to the ceiling. Exhale it out, and let's do that 1 more time. Stretch your torso up, 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 up. Lengthen out through your tummy as much as you can. Exhale, and let's come into some spinal rotation. I love this move because it really just opens up your torso. It releases some of the stickiness through your spine and your hips. If you really focus on contracting your glute on the leg that you're turning away from, so left glute, right glute. When you really anchor down, clamp down on that muscle in your glute, it allows your spine to have more space to twist around. Just letting your arms kind of go where they go, drawing in through your abdomen. And just really, we're gonna go through a couple preparatory moves here to get you ready for the workout. 1 more here. And relax. Feet are under your hips. Take your arms up over your head, but just relaxed. On go, we're gonna make this very active. And you're going to actively reach up as high for your ceiling as you can. And go. I want you to look up. I want you to reach up. I want you to very actively lengthen yourself out as many little centimeters as you can. Lift, reach, stretch, lift, reach, stretch, more, 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 and relax it down. And let's come into spinal twist 1 more time, and we're gonna do that overhead reaching again. This overhead reaching is really great because it activates the transverse abdominis muscle, also known as TVA. It is one of your abdominal core muscles that's responsible for drawing your abdomen inward towards your spine. It's really one of the most important core muscles. I would even say in my experience, it is the most important core muscle. And it is the one that helps to protect your spine, and it is also in charge of drawing your abdomen inward. So let's do it again. Feet under hips, arms overhead, and go. Reach, reach. I want you to imagine that you can lengthen the space from your rib cage to your hips as long as possible. You should feel your abdominal muscles grab. You might even feel the muscles in your back grab. That's a good sign. That means we're truly activating the core. Reach, reach, reach. Short little breaths and relax it down. Feet together. I want you to bend your knees so that you lower your center of gravity. Really important to keep the knees slightly bent. Bring your weight over to one leg. Let your balance settle in. Take a look down. Make sure the leg that you're standing on, that knee, is bent. There is a tendency to straighten the knee for a lot of women, and that's because the hamstrings and the glutes are weak. If you have a hard time keeping this slight bend, that is an indication we gotta work on those 2 muscles. Once you find your balance, look around your space. Move your eyes, move your chin, move your head, and I want you to look around, look up, look down, look all around, and I want you to intentionally throw your balance off them. If you're not losing your balance by looking around, you need to make it a bigger circumference that you're looking around to intentionally throw your balance off, keeping the knee bent. It's an incredible preparatory exercise. It's great to practice your balance, and it also really fires up a lot of those important leg muscles for our workout. Relax and switch sides, feet together, bend the knees, find your balance. So I realize the exercise could look a little silly, and I promise you it's one of the best exercises you can learn to really improve your balance, but also really improve the functional stability of your leg, all the way from the arches of your feet up to your hip and to your abs and core. So let's look around. Like I said, this isn't a test to try to keep your balance perfectly stable. You're kind of failing the exercise if you're keeping your balance perfectly stable. You actually want to throw your balance off, and you want to have to be reaching and trying really hard to hold your balance or even tap down every now and then. And the more that you do that, you'll feel the muscles of your feet or foot that you're standing on really grab and fire up. And that glute medius on the outside of the hip is probably gonna get warm and tired. And relax, take your feet separated. Bend your knees, take a look down at your feet and make sure that they're truly parallel to each other, not letting the toes open out. Bend your knees, hips are back, and let's come side to side. Love this move to prepare the muscles of the legs, the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes for our leg workout today. It's also a really great active and dynamic move for the inner thighs. So a lot of times after the workout that we're doing today, it would be normal if you got some adductor, inner thigh muscle soreness, and this move really helps to prevent that. If this is comfortable, sit a bit deeper, trying to reach past your toes. Now for the rest of the workout, please know that you can move faster or slower than me. And please know that this is a strength-based workout. Your job is to find weight loads where the last 2 repetitions of every single exercise are challenging. It's not to get your heart rate up, it's not to make you super sweaty. This is a strength workout to fatigue your muscles and to really expose your body to challenging weight loads. You're gonna focus on 12 repetitions for every exercise, making sure the last 2 reps are challenging. And relax. One more preparatory move for you. Bring your feet together. We're gonna put a couple of moves together. Reach way up to the ceiling like we did in the beginning, and then I want you to take a big step back coming into a runner's lunge. Push into the front leg, big reach, other leg, runner's lunge. And continue alternating sides, moving at the pace that feels good for you today. That might be faster than me, and that might be slower. You may need to modify your lunge, not coming down into a full runner's lunge. That's cool. And if this is comfortable, bring it all the way so that that back knee gently taps down on the ground, pressing into the heel of the front leg, firing up your glutes. Big reach here. Make it very big, very active. Reaching up super high. And let's do one more. And relax. Let's get into the workout. I'm gonna show you our first 2 exercises put together as a superset. We're gonna complete them with no rest in between. Then we'll be taking a short rest after each pairing of 2 exercises. First move, Romanian deadlift with an active plank. You could do Romanian deadlift with a barbell or with dumbbells. I'll be doing it with a barbell. Here is your dumbbell version. Knees bent, keeping a bit of an arch in your lower back, squeezing your glutes at the top. Make sure that there is a definitive bend in your knees at the bottom of the move. Second exercise, we're going down to the ground, and two options. You can be elbow plank here. You can also be a bit more advanced. Straight arm plank. From here, we're gonna lift one foot for a beat, alternating sides for 24 reps in total. Then we'll take a short rest. Are you ready? I'm actually gonna use my barbell today for RDL. If you've got a barbell, grab it, but you can use that dumbbell just like I demonstrated. 12 repetitions, let's go. Now remember, as I said, this is a strength-based workout. So you want these 12 repetitions to truly be challenging. If they're not challenging, I want you to see if you can get a harder weight load. And if you're limited in your exercise equipment today, you can do more repetitions, but I would actually prefer that you keep your repetitions exactly where they were and add a third superset. 12 reps here, squeezing your glutes at the top. 2 more reps for 12 in total, and then we're going down for that active plank. You can do it on your elbows or extended arms is a bit harder, hands under your shoulders. Take your plank, and from here, we're making it active. One leg comes up for a beat. Now, the point of this exercise, a lot of people don't really understand the whole point of this exercise. It's not really about this leg lifting up into the air. It's about loading and activating the leg that's on the ground. It's a single leg plank. So it's really about the leg that stays on the ground. You don't really even have to think about that leg that's lifting, and you don't have to lift it very high. It's just about bringing your weight load over to one leg so that you're doing a single leg plank, and you really want to load. Put your mental focus, energy, and effort into the leg that's staying on the ground. So we've got 12 on each leg, 24 in total, then we take a short break, then we repeat this superset. Keep your abs drawn in and take a short break. When you hit your 24, sit up on the floor for a moment before you stand, and then I want you, when you do stand up, take your time, lift your legs 8 to 10 times to make sure that you're recirculating your blood flow back up to your brain. Short break. How did that set feel? Can you go heavier on your Romanian deadlift? If your 12 reps were easy, that means it's time to get a heavier weight load for the second set. And if you don't have a heavier weight load, then I would love for you to do a third superset, or yes, you can add repetitions. Okay, let's go for that second set. RDL, feet are about hip width distance apart. Toes are turned to open slightly, shoulders back and down. Make sure that at the bottom, there is an arch on your lower back. You want to keep a little bit of an arch here. You do not want to be keeping a flat back. I know that you've heard that out here in the fitness industry from other personalities and other voices. It's actually not accurate. A flat back here is the fastest way to a back injury, or even a shoulder injury, believe it or not. So here, you want neutral, natural arch, not a flat back. You will eventually pull a muscle in your back if you have a flat back at the bottom of this exercise. Neutral, natural, slight lumbar arch, lower back arch. Going down for a second set of plank. Again, you can do on your extended arms, on your hands, or come down onto your elbows, whatever feels best for you. Extended arms is definitely a bit more challenging. Set your plank first, nice and strong. 12 reps, each leg. So it's a plank for sure. So I want you really drawing in through your abdomen, and it's a single leg plank. So think about the leg that's holding you up, power into it, sink back into the heel, keep, again, a neutral, natural curvature in your lower back, but also keep your abs drawn in. Abs drawn in, braced, just like that exercise at the very beginning where you're reaching up to the ceiling. It's the same activation that you're going for in this move. Drawing in and really lengthening your torso. 24 in total. And then we're gonna take a short rest. Take a moment before you stand. When you stand, make sure you lift your knees a few times, and let me show you our next two exercises. First, we need some air in here. It's a little warm. Next two exercises, Bulgarian split squat with another ab exercise. Let me show you Bulgarian. You need something to put your foot onto, but it doesn't have to be an exercise bench. It could be a kitchen chair. It could be a piano bench. It could be an ottoman. It can be a staircase. It could be anything that you can put your foot on. The bottom of your couch, just below the cushions, feet together, knees bent, 1 foot back. This is a front leg exercise. So you want to put all of your focus into your front leg, a little bit of a forward lean at your torso. 12 on one leg, 12 on the other leg. Next exercise can be done on an elevated surface or on the ground. This is a leg lowering move. So you're gonna anchor yourself at your head, knees bent, feet up. If you can, both legs are coming down to a depth where you feel the pressure and the work on your abdomen. If that's too much, please bend your knees and don't go quite so low. As I already said, you can definitely do this exercise on the floor. Let's go. Bulgarian split squat first. Feet together, bend the knees, so you're lowering your center of gravity. Find the most comfortable position for that back foot. I like my toe pointed, but you can definitely tuck your toe under, dropping straight down, pressing up into the heel, okay? Here is your first option, body weight only. If that's comfortable, grab a dumbbell. You can also grab a barbell. 12 repetitions. Remember, the point of this exercise is to really focus on the front leg. So drive into that front heel. It's all about the front heel, especially from the bottom here to the top. Chest nice and tall. Drive into that heel. 12 reps, and let's go right to the other side. Feet together. Bend the knees first. Loading the front leg because that's where the work is. Straight down, straight up. Really focusing on that front heel. Use your breath to support you. We got 12 reps, about 4 more here. 2 more. And we're going right into that leg lowering exercise, either from the floor or from an elevated surface. So the value of being on an elevated surface is that if you are confident in this exercise, you're able to go a bit lower here. Now, doing it from the floor, absolutely okay. If you're confident and strong doing this and the floor is stopping you, I want you to keep your legs firm, straight, long, and you're gonna hover right above the floor before you come back up. Now remember, you can modify this. If this is too hard, bend your knees, don't go quite so low. Another way to modify is you can also do one leg at a time, okay? You want to keep your legs straight, but you don't necessarily want to lock your knees. I actually find this move is a lot harder if you don't lock your knees at the bottom, because when you lock your knees here, your quads are helping, and this is technically an ab exercise. So keep the knees a little soft at the bottom, or a lot soft if you need to. And since this is an ab exercise, we're actually gonna do 24 in total, okay? So we're generally doing 12, but on an ab exercise, 12 would probably be a little easy here. So we're just gonna double that for 24 or more if you find this easy. And one more short break. Bring your knees to your chest wherever you are. Come to a seated position. First, take a moment, then you'll stand up, get ready for your second set of Bulgarian split squat. It's really important whenever you're coming up off the floor to just give yourself a moment of transition. I realize it could seem sort of like a silly safety measure, but it's not. It's really common for most people when they jump up off the floor, they get a little dizzy. And while that might be okay, the truth is we want to reduce any of the systemic stress on your body, and we want to help the blood flow get back up to your brain by lifting your legs. Blood flow from the legs to the brain happens largely because of muscular tension and contractions, not because your heart's pumping. The heart just circulates the blood. It's your muscles that keep it moving. Okay, second set, Bulgarian split squat. How did that first set feel? Second set, listen, if your first set was totally doable, then I want you to grab heavier dumbbells. If you're maxed out on your dumbbells and you've got a barbell, this is a great exercise to do with a barbell as well. Here we go. Now, if you don't have anything to put your foot on, you can just do a basic split squat here, but I bet if you get creative and you run into the next room or you look around, you probably have something that you could use for this exercise. Front leg is bent. That back foot is really just stabilizing you. It shouldn't be helping a whole lot. It's just stabilizing you. You want the majority of the work and the load and the exercise to be on the front leg, driving into that front heel. And even though, yes, you're upright with your chest at the bottom here, the truth is there's a bit of a forward lean. There is a little bit of a forward lean here. 12 reps. One more. Same thing on that other leg. Use your breath. I always say, unless you're doing a really heavy load, you can generally breathe however you want. Just don't hold your breath, okay? But then there are a lot of people that want to know, okay, exactly, how do I breathe? If you want to get technical, you exhale here on the work phase. You always exhale on the phase where the work is. So with this exercise, the work isn't on the lowering here. The work is at the bottom. And like I said, just breathe. Just make sure you're not holding your breath. 12 reps. Oh, feels good. In my community, that's one of the most complained about exercises. That one's a doozy, I know. It's akin to burpees. Everybody complains about a Bulgarian split squat because it's hard, but guess what? The challenge is gonna make you better. Just make sure you are breathing. Anchor, legs up, anchored, leg lowering. Now, as I said, if you need to modify, go for it. We've got 24 here, and you exhale on the work. It's harder to lift your legs, right? That's where you want to exhale. Otherwise, just make sure you're not holding your breath, okay? I tend to use the skill of breathing more when the weight load is really, really hard. When I have to dig deep and really work hard, I have to very much focus on my breathing technique. Otherwise, you can just breathe when you need it, okay? 25 here. Exhaling on the pull if you need to. Inhale on the lowering phase. So inhale, exhale. Inhale. And you might even be able to find your own rhythm and rate of breathing. Take a moment before you stand up. Just let your blood pressure adjust a little bit before you stand. When you stand up, lift those legs a few times. Good job. If you want, you can do a third set of that superset. Go for it. Third set, Bulgarian, anchored leg lowering. I'm gonna move on to our next superset, which is a sumo squat with an overhead alternating press. Now, I actually like to call this an overhead punch. I will show it to you, but in essence, it's just an alternating, simultaneously alternating overhead. So on your sumo squat, you are gonna want a heavier weight load. Whatever is the heaviest that you have. If it's a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you hold it between your legs. Toes are turned open about 30 degrees, okay? Almost the same as a goblet squat. From here, you're sitting straight down, keeping your chest up, drive into your heels, squeeze your glutes at the top. It's very similar to a goblet squat, except that the weight load is below you. It's not up at your chest. So technically, this is a bit more of a pulling exercise than a pushing exercise. Overhead, alternating punch. Dumbbells at your shoulders, one arm up, one arm down, and we swap 24 in total, otherwise 12 on each arm. You ready? Grab that heavy dumbbell. Let's go in for that sumo squat. So happy to finally have some heavier dumbbells. Toes are open, chest is up, shoulders back and down, sitting. And if you've got, let's say, shorter legs, you may want to pull your dumbbell up so that you can go a hair deeper, depending on the size of your dumbbell. If you've got longer legs, or if you're 5'6" or taller, you can generally hold your dumbbell like this. It's gonna just kind of naturally graze the floor, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're keeping your chest up, okay? There is a tendency to kind of bend into it. Keep your chest up, chest lifted, squeeze the glutes at the top, 12 reps. And then we go right into that overhead punch. Squeeze the glutes, right there. 5s, 8s, maybe 10-pound dumbbells here for this next exercise. Certainly, if you're above 10 pounds, that's excellent. Here we go. Swapping. There's 2. 3 for 12. 3 on each side. Nice and long. Still keep your shoulders back and down, okay? Really important to keep your shoulders back and down, even though you're pushing up. Big push, 12 reps each side. We got 1 more on each side-ish. and relax. Short break. You are in charge of counting your repetitions. So if you've found me on YouTube, if you've found me on my blog, if a friend introduced me to you, you might be wondering, this girl can't count. The truth is, I'd rather focus on giving you a good workout and teaching you some things. You can do your own counting, my friend. 12 on each side for unilateral exercises, like the overhead punch, like the Bulgarian split squat, and then we have a split squat coming up later. Short break, second set. If your sumo squat was comfortable, grab a heavier dumbbell. If you can't, consider going a hair deeper. And then if you still need a little bit more work, you can either add more reps or do a third set. Cool, toes are turned open. Heels are at about the width of your shoulders, okay? About 30 degrees or so on the toes, maybe a little less. Hips down, chest up, press into your heels. Chest up, booty back. Just like we talked about earlier, you want to keep a bit of a natural curvature on your lower back here, a little bit, okay? Little bit, no flat backs. Want that bit of a booty pop, okay? Now the girls on Instagram get made fun of for the booty pop, sticking that booty back, but that's actually a little bit of what we want at the bottom of this exercise. And once again, I know you've probably heard from other notable experts out there. They say, keep your back flat. The truth is, it's just the wrong terminology. You don't want to keep your back flat, but it's kind of become a saying in the industry. You don't want to keep your back flat. Your spine has a beautiful curve to it. You want to use your abs to maintain that curve. First set was comfortable, heavier dumbbells. I had to get me some heavier dumbbells, guys. Okay, one arm up, one arm down, and we simultaneously swap. 12 on each side. Use your breath. Keep your shoulders down, even though your arms are pressing up. Abs tight, neck long. Big push, 12 reps, almost there. Each arm 12, 24 in total. 2 more-ish. And relax. Short break. If you're ready for a harder, heavier workout today, go ahead and do a third round of those 2 exercises. Next superset, we have a proper goblet squat. I love this combo. Sumo squat to goblet squat because the weight load changes. Also, because of that, the action of your pelvis changes. Goblet squat is similar to a sumo squat, but you sit deeper and the weight load is in contact with your upper body and you're able to stay upright more and you're able to go a little bit deeper. So, dumbbell is right at the chest. It's important that you keep your dumbbell in contact with your body, somewhere near your sternum or clavicle. Chest is up. Glutes, your hips end a little below your knees here, but you do really want to try and keep that a little bit of that lower back arch. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Toes are open and wide, similar to a sumo squat. Second exercise, you need your resistance band. You can do this next exercise with dumbbells, but I really love it extra with a resistance band. Medium resistance band. You're going to stretch it between your feet. You're then gonna make sure you've got equidistance between the handles. Cross your handles, upright row with a band. If you have shoulder problems, you're gonna wanna stop your upright row about here. If you've got super healthy shoulders, end with your elbows a little higher than the actual shoulder joint. Okay, goblet squat, you ready? Grab that challenging weight load, whatever you got, and let's go. Keep it in chest, in contact with your chest, upper body, chest is up, heels, squeeze the glutes. 12. Make sure you're finishing with your hips directly under your shoulders, squeezing your glutes right there. Little bit of a pelvic tuck, driving into the heels, squeeze your glutes at the top. You got 12 reps, and we're gonna go right into that band upright row. Grab your band, stretch it between your feet. Make sure that you've got equidistance on the bands. Cross it over. Here we go. 12 reps. Ending with your elbows a little higher than your shoulders if you have healthy shoulders. If your shoulders are a little problematic, you want to end with your elbows at about the same height as your shoulder girdle. 12 reps here, like I said. You can also do this with dumbbells. Great exercise with dumbbells, but a resistance band is a whole different world of challenge because at the top here, you've got maximal resistance on the band. One more, and we're gonna take a short break before we do our second superset. About 10, 20, maybe 30 seconds of rest between your supersets. I do want you to need the rest. If you don't need the rest between your supersets, you're actually, between your pairing of exercises, you're actually not working hard enough. So I encourage you to get some heavier weight loads where 12 repetitions are actually hard. Okay, here we go. Second set, goblet squat. So if that first one was comfortable, let's go a little bit heavier. Toes are turned open, chest up, squeeze your glutes here. And if you want to do a third set of this superset, go for it. Plan ahead. If you want a little bit harder workout, you want to aim to do 3 pairings. So 3 rounds of each superset, and we've got 5 supersets today. Squeeze your glutes here. Give me a really good glute squeeze. Finishing your hips directly under your shoulders. 12 reps. If you're limited with your exercise equipment, you can do more reps, but I'd rather you do another set. And relax. Second set, upright row. Stretch the band between your feet. That gives you just a little bit more band to play with here, okay? And if your band is too easy for you, you can actually choke up on the band between your feet so that there is less band between your foot and your hand. That's gonna make it harder, okay? Neck is long, so even though your arms are coming up, you still want that shoulder girdle down here. Drop into your shoulders here. Shoulders back and down forever. It will change your life. It will make your arms and shoulders look better, and it will relieve any neck and shoulder issues that you might have. 12 reps, short break. Let me show you our 5th and final superset. We've got a split squat, body weight, or loaded with dumbbells or a barbell, paired with one of my favorite shoulder exercises to end the workout. Split squat. Start with your feet together, bend your knees, take a step back. Now, you gotta find the position from front to back that really works for you, but at the bottom, you want almost a 90-degree relationship at both knees. Technically, you want a little less than 90 degrees at the bottom. Second exercise, you will want moderate weight load for this exercise because there's a lot of time under tension here. Shoulders back and down, shoulder cycling. Up, forward, down, forward, out, down. Okay, so up, forward, then down, and then we reverse. And we're gonna do, let's do 10 cycles in total. It's a lot. So grab a moderate weight load, okay? Okay, first setup is your split squat. Feet together. I'm gonna do it from the front so you can also see my front angle, knees bent. Take a step back. So notice there is space between my right and my left leg, and that is because we want to have a base of support and stability from left to right, 12 reps each leg. You do have to kind of find your perfect positioning on this exercise. And listen, this is like this is technically a Bulgarian split squat, but both feet are level, right? So these two moves, in my experience of now 30 years, yes, these are two of the hardest exercises, two of the hardest strength exercises ever. And they also hold great power to really transform your body. Feet together, bend the knees, take a step back. Make sure that you've got space from left to right between your feet. And at the bottom, you want most of the work on your front leg. Your back leg is working, for sure, but we want a little bit more work on that front leg. Chest is up, drive into the front heel. It's a doozy. If you have long legs like Jill, this one's extra hard. Keep that chest up, drive into that front heel, 12 reps. Like I said, you can do this body weight only. You could also strap a barbell across your shoulders. One more, and shoulder cycling. So feet together, knees are bent, shoulders back and down real good. Slight bend at your elbows, here we go. Open, forward, down, reverse. That's one cycle. Here's two, okay? Now, I like to reset at the end of each cycle here. Reset those shoulders. 3. Here's 4. So good for the delts. We're almost halfway. So this is where you really want to be selective about the weight load that you're using. Like I said, there's a lot of time under tension with this exercise, and it's coming after a hard exercise. So this is actually coming after split squat. It's a doozy. Shoulders back together before you press out. We've got 3 more-ish, maybe 2 more, maybe 1 more. 10 in total. Unless it's easy, then you're gonna do 1 or 2 more. Last one. Shoulders down and reverse. Whew, you feeling that? I'm only using 5-pound dumbbells and I feel it. Short break, going in for that second and final superset. Now remember, if you're moving quickly, if your fitness level is higher, you can do a third superset of any one of these. This one is a great one to end on because it's extra challenging. So, split squat, like I said, you can do body weight only. There is no shame in doing this move body weight only. I did split squats body weight only for like a year before I was able to add weight load to it. It's a very inefficient move for my body. It highlights all of my weaknesses. It's extra hard for me. I can do walking lunges all day long, but split squat, whew, whole other story. So if you want to do this body weight only so that you can really master your technique, please do that. Make sure the feet are separated. Here we go. About 90 degrees or less at the bottom. Stay nice and tall with your spine and shoulders back and down. Even though we're not doing an arm or a shoulder exercise, you still want to be very deliberate with the placement of your shoulders. 12 reps, and then we'll switch legs. Two more, and let's change sides. You feeling that? Holy moly. Knees bent. Make sure you take a moment, really set yourself up for great positioning here. The better you set yourself up at the start, the better the set altogether. And there's a good chance you're like me and this exercise really highlights your weaknesses. So if this is hard for you, that's an indication that it's actually really important for you to work on this exercise. And we got one more going into that shoulder cycle for 10. Now, if you want to do more cycles, plan on it. If you want to go a bit heavier and choose a heavier weight load so that you can do fewer cycles, that's cool too. Shoulders back and down, here we go. Okay, you want moderate to light dumbbells here, moderate to light. I would rather you get really beautiful technique on this exercise rather than going heavy. So you always want to master your technique first. It's exactly why I created my Strength Society workshop, to really help you master the technique of all these exercises. The truth is, you don't have to go heavier if you're still mastering your technique. It's amazing what can happen with light weight loads if you've got beautiful, perfect technique. Cool. Shoulders back and down. 2 more cycles. 1 more. And relax. Walk it out. Grab a drink of water. Let your heart rate come down for a moment. Really good job. Like I said, if you want a harder workout, go ahead and plan to do a 3rd superset of these 2 moves. Otherwise, I'm gonna take you through a short little cool down. Really good job. Great workout. That last one, that's a doozy to end on, right? Those 2 moves, whoo. Okay, feet right under you. Let's take a big inhale up. Exhale it out. One more big inhale up. Exhale it out. Let's return, come to that spinal twist. And I want you to just notice how your body feels different now as compared to the beginning of the workout when we first did our spinal twist. It will tell you a lot about the nature of your workout. You might feel a little stiff. You might feel less stiff. Just take note of it, be aware of it. If you're feeling stiff, that's even more reason that you want to be doing this move after your workout. And 1 more, and relax. Okay, big inhale up. Exhale, interlock your fingers, bring them back behind you. Bring your shoulders and elbows back. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Let your body come in for a little bit of a stretch here. Really opening your chest. And relax it out. Quadricep stretch. If you need to stabilize on something, please do so. Find your balance on one leg. Grab the front of your foot or shoe. If you need to grab the heel of your shoe, that's cool. Or even grabbing a rope or a belt around the foot. You're gonna tuck your pelvis under, pull your knee back. Keep the pelvis tucked under. Keeping that pelvis under, drawing the knee back so that when you look down at your knees, your stretching knee should be behind your front knee. Super important stretch to be doing every single day. Same thing, other side. If you need balance, go for it. No shame in that. Grab the top of your foot, tuck your pelvis, keep the tuck, pull the knee back, and that is the recipe for an awesome quad stretch. Look down, make sure your stretching knee is next to or behind your standing knee, but you want to make sure that you keep your pelvis tucked under here. Keep this tucked because that allows the origin, the starting point of the quadriceps muscles, one of them, to really be fully lengthened in this stretch. And relax it out. One more big inhale. Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. If you ever want to join me live, come on over to hollyperkins.com/free workout and you can join us for a free live workout on a Saturday. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.